some soup. And I feel like I've run out of containers. So I'm really hoping that this is gonna be enough. Ooh. Come on, come on, come on. Oh! That's perfect. Well, I mean, I have to put the rice in, so I don't... might overflow a little bit, but... I don't know where all my other containers went. Oh, no, I know where they went. I make so much food at once, and then... My issue is I make a lot of junk food, and not a lot of, like, meal food, so I need meal food, like soup. And I was gonna make some other stuff, but I don't have enough containers to make this, so I need to finish what's in my fridge. I just have to wait for the rice to cook. My floor is just... I'm so sorry to my downstairs neighbor. I'm having one of those mornings where I just like panicked myself into a corner. Because I feel like my corner of the internet is like nice. And when I stray from my corner of the internet, I'm like, oh no, people are scary. I had that happen today where like I woke up feeling really good, and then I scrolled to the wrong place, and I was like, I don't like that. Because it's like, I don't know, I feel like everyone's just kind of on edge right now, and it's like understandable, but I don't know, I'm honestly thinking about doing like a deleting apps on my phone. Like, it's so tricky because I do YouTube, you know, and I feel like my space is good, but it's when I end up scrolling through videos and then like algorithm things happen and then I end up where I like don't want to be. And the same for TikTok. Like I post, like I have to post because like I basically use TikTok as like an advertising thing. So like I do have to post things, but then like I'll post and I'll be like, oh well, I'm already here. I'm gonna, you know, scroll through things now that I've posted my little speed paint for the day. I'm already here. I already opened the app because I have no self-control. It's one of those things because I hear a lot of like social media is toxic, social media is toxic. But why do you think that is? You know? It's like, social media is toxic because people, when you give them anonymity, will just say crazy shit because they don't have the same consequence. And that's just like human nature and just people in general. They're gonna act differently when they don't have that fear of consequence versus, you know, someone approaching you on the street is gonna act differently than someone with no profile picture and a assortment of numbers as their username, you know? So like I will go on these tangents where I like only consume like fictional media, where like I only watch movies and I only watch shows, and I like start to like people again, and then I go on social media and I'm like, oh, they're not really like that. And it's like, of course, something written professionally by a screenwriter and by a room of people to make sense and be cohesive is going to make more sense than actual real life people, because real life people are messy. So I don't know what the answer is, because is like I don't know. I try to stay on my little section of the internet, but it scares me when I get to that not section of the internet, just like how many scary people are out there that like want to do harm on purpose, and that like makes me nervous to just like say or do anything, because I'm very self-conscious, obviously. I've said that again and again. But I feel like that whole, people always tell you when you're self-conscious, like, oh, nobody's actually looking at you, nobody actually really cares. But I feel like that's kind of changed. And I feel like people really analyze just like every core facet of you and your personality and your whatever. I don't, like, I'm trying to make this my happy space. But people scare me. So I'm always nervous to say or do anything. Because people as an autistic person, my biggest fear is being misunderstood, because that happens so frequently. So like my brain constantly reinforces that, like, oh, it happened again, oh, it happened again, oh, it happened again. So I feel like I can't really move past it, because be like, okay, I'm gonna be more honest, I'm gonna unmask more, you know, I'm gonna be more authentically myself. And then it's like, oh, somebody misconstrued that to mean something awful. It's like, no, I was being literal. I was not. I was not connecting to whatever. I was just mean what I say. Yeah, it's whatever. It's tricky. There is no answer, and that's what I don't like. I like things that have solutions. When there's no solutions, I will run myself in a circle. So, but you guys are nice. You guys are nice. There's been a lot more of you that have subscribed. Now that I've been posting more, thank you for that. Also, thank you to the people who comment things. It lets me know that we're on the same page, you know, and that I'm not just talking to the void, because I spent a lot of years just talking to the void, which is fine. But you know, it's nice to have some people who are on the same page. But I'm trying to stay here with people who are on the same page. Because people scare me. Okay, is this done yet? No, not done yet. Okay, this has to wait. The rice is done. The rice is done. And now I just gotta... Ooh, I gotta try to space this out so it doesn't overflow. In here we have random vegetables that were in my freezer. So we have carrots and cucumbers and green onions, because that is what I had laying around. Now I have rice. Oh, it's getting there. Oh, am I gonna be able to... I might just have to leave this in the pot until I eat a little bit of it. So it doesn't... It's so close to the top. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna do this to myself. I'm gonna leave the rest of the pot. Because I can't move this now. Washcloths are in the wash right now. My washcloths are being washed, so I don't have anything I can use to clean up if I spill. No, I spilled. I did. I did. I think this one's easier. Oh. Did I speak too soon? Oh. Okay, no, it didn't spill. But it was very cool. It didn't spill, but I may have locked this into a bomb. And I now can't open it. I am so smart. SMRT. So I've been using this. Oh. This was the concern. I was using this super old model, and it's in a software that is just not super great. This was like one of the first models that I made. I mean, not one of the first like official ones that I like actually used. And this was meant to be kind of a base. It was never like super exact, so there's a lot of things that when I actually draw the pages get slightly altered, and you can see that the software kind of like glitches through things, and there's a lot of adjustments that need to be made. So I finally went through and updated the model, and I tried to get as close as I could. I did have to adjust some things. Like this couch was not exact. This bed the legs weren't the same, so I had to make different legs, things like that. This lamp, I'm not sure if I'm just gonna keep it or do whatever. I kind of just like don't want to touch it, but also it's not the same lamp. It was as close as I could get, but it's not the same. So there's just a different lamp now. But now I actually have the proper TV, and I don't have to redraw the TV every time. And this is pretty dang close to what the original was. The colors are not accurate, obviously, because this is just the model and not the actual finished thing, but His room is very simple, so it wasn't super complicated, but also finding things that were like as close as I could get to the original design was very difficult. But they're like in this room a lot, so I really needed to update my model. So I usually use hidden line, and then I get this. And this is a pretty good base for me to do other things. It's not exact, but it's a good start, saves time. And then wireframe if I need to figure things out that aren't as apparent. Because something like curves, it doesn't like curves very much. Because before I just had nothing. I just had none of this. Something in my nail. So this is an improvement. I needed to just like sit down and do this, so I'm glad I got that done finally. And then I also have a version like without the TV, because sometimes I'll have shots kind of like this, kind of like that, and the TV is like, I would be in the middle of the TV if I were to have that there. So I have two models where there's certain elements missing so that I can position it better, so that, because like for example, if I wanted to get this position before, I would just kind of be inside of the television like this. So things like that. This is SketchUp. SketchUp does not, I do have to do the actual modeling on my computer. SketchUp doesn't, there is an option to model on an iPad, but it costs so much money because you have to pay per year. You can't, it's like a annually fee as opposed to a monthly fee, and I don't want to drop like the hundreds of dollars when I do it on my laptop, and then I can view the model on my iPad, and then I can position it in the way that I want to here, and that saves an extra step of having to transfer the image to my iPad. But other than that, I can't do any editing on this, which is annoying because I feel like SketchUp's really the only software that lets me do this. So I was trying that Planner 5D before, and there's not a lot of good 3D modeling apps that aren't like super expensive, which is annoying. So I just filmed a quick little tiki-taki, right? And I posted it, and I just like left and had a snack and didn't really think about it. And then I watched it back, and I realized that it's totally unsynced because when I was editing it, I was listening with my Bluetooth headphones, and there was just a slight lag, but enough where it's like very noticeable. And now the TikTok has 300 views, so I can't take it down. I mean, I could, but like it's like TikTok, the algorithm decided it liked that one, so I don't want to mess with it. But I gotta remind myself that these headphones, it has like a 2-second delay, so there's just like transition music going on way too long. Transition. Also, I don't know how, I'm trying to learn how to do those like swishy swashies, whatever the heck they call it, the edity where they use the phone. I'm trying to figure out how to do that, but like my hands are so shaky because I drink coffee all the time. So one of the fun extras that I gotta do is after I do the storyboarding stuff, I have to take like references as close as I can get. Sometimes I don't even do the storyboarding if I have like an exact pose that I already know that I want, but which means I have to just get props. So like I got a blanket and I just have to kind of writhe around in the blanket until I get the pose and get like the folds that I want, because if I can get the picture correct on the first go, well, not in the first go, but if I can get the picture as close to the finished pose that I want, it saves me a lot of time. So like, well, I mean, usually I don't have it, usually have it in portrait, so I'm gonna have to back up. Probably not gonna be able to get in this shot, but want to have facing this way. Gotta have legs like this. And then I need to have the blankets folded. We gotta have a hand grab one of these so we can get these nice folds. And then I just kind of stare at a camera and do this, which is somehow weirder than what I'm already doing, but this is how I get my poses. For people who are curious. Okay, now I gotta take the real one.